Oh, hello. I'm Ziggy. Welcome to Net Foundry. What's that? You want to learn about the parts of a Ziti network? Well, you came to the right piece of pasta. Let's get started. Let's begin with the basics. What is a Ziti network? A Ziti network is a programmable, zero-trust network overlay. That's right, you program the network and it provides zero-trust security for your application. So what is a network overlay, and why is it important? Your application's data travels over your own private Ziti fabric. Ziti takes care of routing around slow spots, ensuring your data gets there, and most of all, Ziti will only send data to or from an authenticated source. That's zero trust built right in. At its core, every Ziti network consists of three primary components: edge routers, endpoints, and services. Let's start with the first component, edge routers, which serve two vital roles. First, as building blocks of the Ziti fabric, they route traffic from point to point across your Ziti network. Routers get your data to and from your application components. Second, routers can also act as access points for your application. This is where they get the edge in their name. Later, we'll learn how you can control which edge routers an endpoint can use and how you can influence routing. While a network requires at least one edge router for a fabric, you don't have to host your own. NetFoundry can deploy and manage your network's router in the cloud of your choice, or you can host your own. OpenZiti has container images and binaries to make it easy. Let's move on to the second core component, an endpoint. Also known as identities in OpenZiti, an endpoint can be a device, tool, or application that is connected to a network. An enrolled endpoint may access a service hosted on an edge router, or host a service or app itself. You may also see the term tunneler, which is a special type of endpoint that tethers clients or servers to the network. These run locally, intercept otherwise normal local network traffic, and act as endpoints to tunnel traffic through your Ziti network. The third core component is called a service. A service defines how connections are created for applications. It's in the service where configuration details such as host, IP, ports, protocols, and other typical networking parameters are defined. So how do you define what services each endpoint has access to? These connections between endpoints and services are managed via AppWans or service policies. These policies determine which services your endpoints have permission to access, allowing for super granular levels of control. Now that you've learned about the three core components, let's review how they work together in a Ziti network. At its most basic, Ziti networks are built with a network overlay called the Ziti fabric. The fabric is constructed of edge routers which are used to route traffic across the network. Endpoints access the network via an edge router, then cross the network to access a service or app hosted on another part of the network. This service can be hosted on either a router or another endpoint. That's enough for now, but eventually, you'll want to learn more about things like policies, posture checks, and, most exciting, SDKs that allow you to embed zero trust directly into your applications. Great work! Come back again soon.